Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Attorney John Deaton, who of course is the attorney seeking to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case on behalf of about 19,000 XRP holders, is uncovering SEC corruption along with the rest of the XRP community because, frankly, someone needs to go to jail. Like, I gotta tell you, look, I don't have any specific evidence of like, with certainty that there have been illegal behaviors, illegal actions here. But my gosh, there's just so much at this point. I can't help but think somebody should be in jail. I find it, and I don't know this for sure, but I find it very unlikely that everything has unfolded the way it has, and all of the evidence that the XRP community and John Deaton and everybody else has turned up, it's just a bunch of coincidences. That seems like a bit too much for me. And if you've been following me for some time, you know, like I am the opposite of conspiracy theory land. Like so that's why I do want to be careful about this. I'm not specifically accusing any individual of any specific action, but I have to tell you, like, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And there's a lot of smoke here. So what I want to share with you in this latest Moon Lambeau Hot Jam is the most comprehensive bit of information I've seen from John Deaton, just laying out the case of how supremely corrupt the SEC is. And I always want to give credit where it's due, and so I do want to encourage you, if you've not yet done so, go ahead and subscribe to John Deaton's new YouTube channel. It started at the beginning of just last month, and it's growing quickly. He's already got 9,160 subscribers, which is impressive. That's pretty damn quick growth, I gotta tell you. But if you just go into YouTube, just type in Crypto Law TV with no spaces, and what's on your screen right here, this is his channel, it will pop right on up. And it's an easy way that you could, with very minimal effort and at no cost to you, support John Deaton, because he sure as hell is looking out for the XRP community. And so, like I always say, I always want to support those that are contributing in meaningful ways to the XRP community. And tell you what, John Deaton is at the top of that freaking list. So let's go ahead and dive into what he had to say. Who reviewed and helped write the Hinman speech? Who was on the 63 emails that included a draft of the speech? Where is Hinman's public calendar? Who purchased large quantities of Ether between December 2017 to June 13th, 2018? And by the way, so the last part of that in particular, that date's relevant because on June 14th, 2018, that was the date that Hinman gave his speech. So basically saying, okay, from that date range, December 2017 to June 13th, 2018, who's making a bunch of money off of Ether because they knew what was coming? That's effectively what we're getting at here, right? And then he wrote $10,000 purchase in the ETH ICO means you'd have a net worth of greater than that of Gary Gensler, and he has a high net worth of like $120 million. And so you just got to kind of ask yourself, like, what is it? Because, like, you think about that. You'd have over $120 million if you held to this point. We're just putting in 10 grand. Like, you have to ask, like, what is it that Gary Gensler wants to protect you from? Extreme wealth? Like, I mean, yeah, there's risk. I'm not pretending there's no risk to crypto, but damn, just don't take people's opportunity away here. And so then John Deaton says Joseph Lubin, that's and he cites here as a co-founder of Ether and Ethereum. Joseph Lubin received 9.5% of Ether just for being a co-founder. Everyone knows that Vitalik Buterin, also a co-founder, and Lubin held an ICO through crowdfunding, which was without a doubt an unregistered securities offering. So where was the SEC with this? Where is outrage from those that attack Ripple and XRP? And then One River, we gotta love this one too. One River bet, this is gonna make you feel sick as I go through this. It's just, you're gonna start to get angry. Like, One River bet $1 billion on Bitcoin and Ether in October 2020. That's two months later. On his last day at the SEC, Clayton directs the enforcement action against Ripple and XRP. 12 weeks later, Clayton joins One River. And so One River is the firm that is seeking to have a Bitcoin ETF approved. And if that happens, if they're the first to get through, they're going to make an absolute fortune. So think about the timing of all of this. Is it really just they're that fortunate? All of this is panning out the way it is. And so again, Bitcoin and Ether in the clear. Anything else that would be perceived as competing, not so much. Isn't that weird how all of this works? The picking and choosing, it's rather disgusting. John Deaton continues. Hinman's law firm was on the board of the Ether Alliance. Hinman's firm represented clients heavily involved with the Ethereum Foundation. Hinman collected over $15 million from his law firm, the one on the board of the Ether Alliance, while working at the SEC. So think about this. $15 million from his former law firm while he's working at the SEC? For what? And then what he's doing happens to be benefiting his law firm? Hello? Gosh. And then John continues. We know for a fact that Hinman, as director of corporation finance, had a meeting with Joe Lubin, and again, that's the Ethereum co-founder, Joe Lubin, and representatives from Consensus on December 13th, 2017. And Consensus, that was founded by Joe Lubin. It's an entity that's basically seeking to utilize Ethereum for all sorts of blockchain-related activities. That's Consensus. It's the most to-the-point way I could possibly describe them. And so again, Hinman had a meeting with Lubin on December 13th, 2017. This meeting with the co-founder of Ethereum took place while the SEC was aggressively investigating and prosecuting ICOs. And so then there's Kik, EOS, Telegram, and dozens of others were being investigated or prosecuted during the time period of the Lubin and Hinman hearing. And by the way, I'd like to mention this too. So XRP, when it was being investigated, ended up being put on a watch list. We know because the SEC has admitted Bitcoin and Ether were never on a watch list. So Ether, there was no investigation. And so the reason we know this is because had it even been on a watch list, their employees would not have been able to purchase Ether at that point, which is what happened with XRP. Once that happened, XRP could not be purchased by SEC employees. That was the deal. But Ethereum, no investigation whatsoever. What in the ever-loving hell is that? And so then John Deaton writes, maybe this meeting was about Ether's ICO. Nope. Was Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, or Chris Larson being investigated yet? Nope. Despite XRP's significant market cap and notoriety, investigating Ripple wasn't even a thought despite the SEC's aggressive stance against ICOs and fraud within the digital asset space. So why didn't the SEC pursue Ripple in 2017 with all the other unregistered securities? In addition to XRP being the number 2 or the number 3 crypto asset, prior to 2015, FinCEN and the SEC agreed to meet regularly and share information about companies. Ripple entered into a settlement agreement with FinCEN in 2015, agreeing to register all future XRP sales only with FinCEN. The point is the SEC was well aware of Ripple and XRP by 2017. Well aware. Let's return to the Lubin and Consensus meeting in December 2017. If not about Ether's crowd-funded ICO, what was it about? In his deposition, Hinman claimed he was unsure who represented Lubin and Consensus. That's right, Hinman testified he was unsure whether his boss and close friend, Jay Clayton's law firm, represented Lubin and Consensus. And by the way, for those of you not looking at the screen, he's got a little emoji here with a somewhat frowny face and a Pinocchio nose. Because he's lying here. 6 months after this initial meeting with Lubin and Consensus, on June 14th, 2018, Hinman stated Ether was no longer a security. He ignored the Ethereum ICO because it can't be described as anything other than an unregistered securities offering. In his speech, Hinman says, putting aside the fundraising. Yeah, and I've talked about that quote a number of times. Why would Hinman put aside the fundraising? Regardless, we can all agree this is a huge aside. Why give such a huge advantage to Ethereum in the race for the number 2 spot behind Bitcoin? The above facts demonstrate huge conflicts of interest. You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to seriously question the integrity of the process during the Clayton and Hinman era. Yeah, so let me pause there. That's why I was saying at the beginning of the video, and this isn't something I say lightly, and I don't say it to be just hyperbolic. I'm choosing my words carefully here, but like everything that I've been researching and learned from others in the XRP community for close to 9 months now on all of these topics, I'm sitting here and I'm taking it in, and I'm just sitting here thinking, with everything that's happened, how could it not be the case that someone deserves to be in jail over some of this, if not all of it? How could that possibly be the case? This is shady as hell, my friends. Right? I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. It's just, I've been holding back a little bit, but I just had a point where I'm just like, how can I that's what seems probable to me. Now, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but there's so many ridiculous things have happened here. Like, how else am I supposed to perceive this? Like, it's just a string of ridiculous coincidences that continues to benefit those that are in power? Really? And then the competitors are getting taken out? No, that does not compute. And so the only reason that I'm not saying that the reason that I am saying that I don't have specific evidence is because I don't. Like, I don't have the smoking gun. I don't have any sort of private information that's remained private to this date, if it exists, between any of these players here, whether it's Clayton or Hinman or Lubin or anyone. Like, it's not gotten out into the public at this point, if it exists. But if it does exist and it does get out into the public, my gosh, some of this is going to result in some serious problems for these people. I would expect, anyway. Anyway, John Deaton continues. Why does Joseph Lubin single out XRP and state with such conviction that the other tokens will not get the same clarity that Bitcoin and ETH received? Let me pause there already again. That is something I pointed out. So when that video recently was circulated, I'm not going to play it. It's actually the video, not audio, but the video is playing on your screen right now. I played this or I didn't play it, but I transcribed it and I shared with you what he said. And I was just like, okay, out of all the thousands of cryptocurrencies, you're bringing up what he called the Ripple token, because he likes to besmirch it. He knows it's XRP, but he likes to call it the Ripple token. Which is really just a disservice to anybody that follows him and respects him, because it's just confusing. But that's what he wants to do. It's a childish little name game. That's what he's doing, though. So the Ripple token, though, why did he call out Ripple specifically? Think about that, because again, think about the timing of everything through the story that we're going through with John Deaton here. Think about all of that. And so then John continues here. How does Lubin know with such certainty that the SEC won't comment regarding further regarding other decentralized networks? How does Lubin know that the SEC won't be commenting further? Yeah, I was wondering that as well, because he seems very confident in all of this, and he did meet with Hinman. Well, how about that? Lubin and Mike Novogratz, by the way, he's the founder of Galaxy Digital, and now he's autoplaying in a little video there, and there's no sound, but and he's very well known in crypto. He's a billionaire. Galaxy Digital is basically, it's a crypto hedge fund here. But anyway, here's what John Deaton wrote. Lubin and Mike Novogratz were roommates and close friends. Why is Novogratz so confident that he can bet diamonds to donuts, that's a quote, by the way, from Novogratz, that ETH won't be declared a security just 9 days before the speech? 9 days. Novogratz, with great conviction, guaranteed the SEC wouldn't declare Ethereum a security. Hester Peirce is a commissioner of the SEC and has less confidence or knowledge regarding anything the SEC will or will not do. The SEC usually never gives clear and decisive market opinions, yet these two gentlemen seem to know exactly what the SEC would do or not do. How could Lubin predict so accurately the SEC would refuse to comment on any other tokens? Why was XRP singled out? Lubin literally gloats that compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin, other tokens will be spectacularly disadvantaged because of regulatory uncertainty. How did Novogratz know? Mike's a very smart guy, but he wouldn't be that confident unless he was assured by someone who had personal knowledge of what Hinman was going to say about Ethereum in that speech. In the clip below, the General Counsel of Consensus, Mr. Korva, discusses an alliance with regulators. We know Korva met with Hinman the day before the above clip. Just how many times did Lubin or others from Ether or Consensus meet or talk with the SEC between December 13th, 2017 and June 14th, 2018, which again is the date of the Hinman speech, who reviewed, edited, or helped write the Hinman speech before June 14th, 2018? Who's on the 63 emails regarding the speech? Who made any large purchases of Ethereum leading up to the speech? If anyone did make large purchases of Ethereum leading up to the speech, do they have any connection to Lubin and Consensus or Hinman and Clayton or their law firms? Which SEC employees owned Ether on June 13th, 2018? Where's Hinman's calendar and dates of SEC meetings? We need an investigative journalist to start asking these fair questions. And then he tagged a bunch of them right there. Joe Lubin was 100% on point when he said other tokens would be spectacularly disadvantaged compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz met with Hinman and Clayton on August 20th, 2018, 9 weeks after the speech. This is how Ripple's CEO described this disadvantage. 9 weeks after the speech, Garlinghouse tells Clayton and Hinman that Ripple is living in purgatory because the SEC didn't provide the same clarity for XRP that it did for Ethereum. In response, neither Clayton nor Hinman told Ripple's CEO that they believed XRP was a security. The origination of Ethereum fits the Howey definition of an investment contract much easier than XRP ever could. Anyone that does a cursory review of the facts above, and there is so much more, will come to only one conclusion. The lawsuit against Ripple and XRP was a hit job. In a clip above, Mike Novogratz himself predicted the SEC would pick a token or promoters and try and take them out as an example. You don't have to be a fan of Ripple or XRP to acknowledge the injustice, the selective enforcement, and deep conflicts of interests or corruption. Well done, John Deaton. You can tell he put a lot of work into those thoughts in that thread right there. And just the way that he puts it together, it's perfectly sequential, really just hits at the heart of the matters. And now that you've seen everything that John Deaton just mapped out there, how do you feel about this? Do you suspect the same as me that something is amiss here? And I don't know for sure what laws necessarily would have been broken, but damn, if you're talking about this type of insider activity, surely something, right? Don't you think somebody should probably be in jail at this point? I mean, that's the level I'm at right now. And if that's not the case, then convince me otherwise, because this looks completely absurd at this point. So let me know what you think in the comment section below, but I'll go ahead and wrap up here. Oh, one last reminder, though, if you've not yet done so, subscribe to Crypto Law TV. John Deaton will be appreciative. And again, his channel is growing quickly, and he puts out fantastic content, and he deserves the support of everyone in the XRP community. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.